What's up? Welcome back to the Worm. Got some weird weather on and off, so I got my guitar up for the first time in what must be a year. I've played for about maybe 15 minutes and my fingers feel like they're about to blister. So let's find something to do in here if it's gonna rain all day. This hanging chain table is actually quite handy to have in here since I don't have any other tables that are movable. Isn't that thing a beaut? Really came out nice. That's not very often, but once in a while I wake up in the morning and I think, man, there's nothing to do. What am I going to find to do today? And then I open my eyes and look anywhere and oh yeah, that would be cool. Oh yeah, we should do that. And just sitting on the couch this morning drinking my coffee, I could see 3 things that I was really excited to do. So I'll show you what the tasks are for the next couple days. Here's one of them. This shelf is, because this was all wet when I put it up here, it twists and warps and everything as it dries out. And this end is only held up, well, I guess it's connected here. It just has 3 screws into the studs. So I put a level on this, and this is really sinking down, and it's got a huge bow in it. You can see here how much this thing's warped. I'm not sure if I replane it. I've already got screws in this way. I don't know if I'm gonna have to somehow fill all those screw holes and re-drill them. You guys know I'm not really into like putting triangles under shelves because it looks a little bit boring. That's why I made all these strange angles to kind of support the thing. I found one more giant piece of cedar that I could use. I was thinking about kind of like connecting these 2 shelves together. Maybe even putting this in at an angle and leaving a hole back here. That might look kind of funky. I'll have to lower the table to oh. Check this out. Man, it was probably 15 years ago. I was going to a Halloween party, had no clothes, so went to Goodwill and picked the ugliest shirt I've ever seen. And after I wore it for a night or 2, I kind of started liking it. So I've had it forever. You guys have probably seen it in previous videos. It's like towel material. I was looking for it the other day and I couldn't find it. So went to, where was it? I don't know, a Goodwill-y kind of store. I found another one and it was brand new. Look at this horrible thing. It's got a collar on it, different color sleeves, and it's full-on towel material. Isn't that great? I don't really want to wash it for some reason. Probably should if it came from Goodwill. So I'm just airing it out here for a while. You'll see that in all future Party Week videos. So when I built this hanging coffee table, I showed you guys this one issue that I didn't get around to fixing. So you untie that, the block and tackle lets out, this goes up. Ropes run through here, and they go through the pulleys right there. The only issue, well, the reason there are so many pulleys is trying to get all these ropes in line with the pulley to go where you want to go. Because this is on a different plane than this, there's kind of an issue. If this was a flat ceiling and it didn't have this little bend, it would have been just fine. But these ropes come out of those pulleys at a downward angle, and because they do, they rub a little bit on the edge of the pulleys. It's not the super hugest deal, except that this being, I guess this is 4-to-1. I'm still not sure if this is 3 or 4-to-1. Either way, it shouldn't be that hard to pull the table up, and there's quite a bit of friction in the system, so I kind of like to remedy that, and I have a very bizarre idea for doing it. Of course, the table's heavy enough that letting it down is easy. But can you see that right there, where they're rubbing on the edge of all 4 pulleys? That's what we need to fix. So in order to hold all those ropes up to the part of the ceiling that goes like this, I was thinking about making a roller. Walked around here looking at everything. Can I take some tools apart? Maybe a shovel handle, whatever. I found 3 pieces of pipe. This came from, I don't know where. Had it rolling around forever. This is a piece of black pipe from the propane for the cabin when I did that. It's left over. And you guys saw my camp chair that I've had for as long as I can remember finally gave out a week or 2 ago. I fell right through the butt of it. And before I chucked it in the trash, there were a couple of straight pipes on it, so I just took a hacksaw and cut them off and saved them. So I was thinking these 2 would be fine together. I think I could anchor either end of this and use this as a roller. And then the inside of this, I was thinking I could take a gun cleaning kit, get most of the rust out of there, grease the heck out of it, and maybe that would be a good roller to hold those up. Will it work? Got a pistol box here I was using as a footstool to play classical guitar. Does that blow your mind or what? That's kind of weird around here. And then the final piece of the movie theater here, this was temporary. I used the ball from my old tripod to put on there just to see where this worked best. And I actually tried this out last night. And when I'm here alone, it's kind of nice to have this out of the way because I put my computer up here and then I could process video files and all that while I'm watching a movie. So my thought was to attach this right to the table. But what I was thinking is we'll make a different size base for this. Maybe put a couple pins in the bottom and then just make 2 holes in the table where it fits. So it'll stay, you know, if you wanted to use the coffee table for any reason without watching a movie, you just lower it down. There'll just be 2 tiny holes in it. And then of course we'll use this new tripod head. But I'm astounded at how nice this thing feels. I think it was, I don't know, 20 or 25, I think 25 bucks or something. But it's all metal, it's nice and heavy. It moves nice and smoothly. I don't know, I might have to take the balls off my 2 other tripods and put a new one of these on there. Anyway, we'll use that for the theater. So once we got all that figured out, table figured out, the shelf is just kind of something to do at the same time. I mean, we'll be living the good life in this cabin. See what the radar looks like to figure out which project to do first. Man, these clouds are, and storm cells are flying across Michigan. They got to be moving like 30 miles an hour. Yeah, we're going to get hit. It looks like all day just splotches, which is weird because it's supposed to be 80 today too. Actually, if we use this black pipe instead of the chair piece, I could use these threads. I could thread it into whatever kind of bracket we make. Chunk of wood, probably 1.5 or 2 inch wide piece of cedar on both ends. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot. I bet it'll be over 50 pounds of pressure. So I could screw into here, there, or there, and there. I guess we'll go to the ceiling. We'll probably have to put a board along there to attach this whole thing to. I don't know. I don't think a 2x4 is going to be enough with all that pressure pulling straight down on it. So maybe we go something wide, and then the blocks that this goes through are going to have to be pretty wide too. You wouldn't want this thing to bust. If it busted out of there, it would kind of shock load the whole table, and I bet some pulleys would get ripped out. This is going to be a sketchy ordeal, but I'm up for it. All right, these are the beastliest boards I have in my scrap pile, so we can put that on the ceiling, and that'll give us good strength and plenty of places to screw into the rafters. And then this, geez, I don't know what I made this for. So we could use this for blocks, screw it to this, and then the post can go through here, or the roller can go through there. I've got some U-bolts that could go around here. Like and then you could put nuts on them from the back side of that thing, but the U is really wide, so I think no matter how much I tightened it, this is going to roll in there. So we might just have to stick this into that fat block, or of course, I mean, we can try threading that in there, but I think I'd like it to go into the block further than the threads. You think this is doable? I don't feel like I have quite the right stuff here, but I'm not going shopping, no chance. Try to take a spot that doesn't have too many knots in it. We'll cut that off. And then, let's see, 16 on center, 32, let's just go 36-ish. 36. And then these blocks, we can just cut off like here, and then we'll reshape this, probably a lot shorter than that. Alright, this 2x4 is way too ugly. We can't have that. Cut it about there. Maybe we'll make some, yeah, we'll make some weird shape out of it. Let's see if this other guy fits on here. Oh, problem is I need that piece for my tripod. Well, maybe we can order a new one. I really need a French curve, don't I? I probably have one somewhere, just can't think of where it is. But salad bowl works great too. Cut there, cut there, cut there. Oh, my jigsaw sucks at this. I need a bandsaw out here. Who built this? What a weird way to put this together. One thing I've found with all the shelves I've built is that when they dry out and shrink, they shrink quite a bit this way, and that's away from the wall. And I go up and feel them and they wiggle a little bit, and generally you can just tighten these screws, suck the thing into the wall, and it works fine. But I think we got to take that bulge out of there, maybe just with the hand planer. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how bad it is. Well, it's because that's the center of the log right there. I guess you'd expect that. I have this dream of just having one day where I don't put sunscreen and bug spray on. So I have all my tools laid out there. I'm gonna run out, try to cut all 3-4 things, whatever it is, run back in here, see if I don't get just mauled by mosquitoes. They're not too bad right now because the wind's up, so hurry, let's go. See if we can flatten the shelf out first. I don't know how it's going to work through that varnish. I don't have my helmet on. That's a lot flatter. I hope it's still square with this edge, but it's flexible. We'll force it into place. And then the roller hanger. Pretty weird cutting dry lumber. Isn't that cool when it starts out like that, ends up like that? Isn't that fun? Just like brand new. So those would be some nice hangers. Just gonna screw into the rafter there, and probably right through that knot. So stick that all the way through there, all the way through there, and then that'll go around it. Maybe up an inch, 1 inch, center, 2.5. Drill a hole like that and hope it goes directly vertically. I can feel the sun burning my neck. We're gonna go salad bowl again, I think. Those are ugly. Well, couldn't find my good drill bits. I think this is pretty dull, but we're gonna have to make it go. Garbage, just garbage. Oh man, that is not straight at all. Crap. Should have drilled a pilot hole in there. That's horrible. Could you see that when I was leaning on it, that I was going the wrong way? Well, this might be enough play. I can bend them into place. Fixed it with the router. Stuck the bit in there and wobbled it a little bit. Other side is really nice and tight. That's great. So this will go on the ceiling, flipped over. This will go somewhere around there. We'll have to drill some huge, big, fat holes in here. There'll be a lot of pressure pulling out. I guess we should plane this off and pretty it up. So I ate a little lunch and dug through all my stuff. Maybe that would roll the best on there. I kind of like that instead of metal on metal. We could still grease the inside of this, but it's a lot smoother. And maybe, nope, wrong size. Oh, wait. Look at that. That's like a reducer I had, but that'll work well to block the ends of this. So I don't like have to screw them in or glue them in. I could drill those holes a little bit bigger, stuff this through, and just crank these on. That'll keep it from falling off. It's really coming together. Let's just ream this out a little bit more so we don't have to screw it in there. Perfect. Look at that. So I'm going to jam a couple big washers in on either side. So let's just say about right somewhere around there. Let's just guess on all these, shall we? Something like that-ish. I thought we had one more thing to do. Is that it? Did we cut them all? Oh, no, the tripod mount thing. Where the hay did that go? What the heck, man? I won't say this never happens. I draw a nice intricate pattern on one side of a board, I lay it down upside down, and then I see it's just garbage and I burn it or cut it in half or something else. You see it, don't you? Where? That way? That way? I found it, took it inside for safekeeping when it was trying to rain. Cut it a little bit outside and then re-round it with the grinder, because jigsaws are garbage. Kind of weird, but it'll work. It's a tripod boat. It's kind of clunky. It rained hard last night. Just checked the weather. It's supposed to be 72, a high of 72 for the next 3 days. Oh, I freaking love it. I had to take this piece off, had to take this off multiple times and shaved it all down. It sort of fits now. It's sort of back to level. It's sort of flat. I noticed all of these have big crowns in them now, but you know, that's what you get. Alright, let's see what kind of weird foot we can make in here. Let's stick it in something like that. Or that, or I think that. That. Yeah, that doesn't fit. Okay. Maybe we can just measure it. So that one comes out 7 inches, about right there. That one comes out 10.5 inches, about right there. Not exactly sure how to draw those measurements on here with it at an angle and missing the back part of it. The other issue is the wall's not exactly plumb because I made it, and the top shelf is not exactly level, so we'll make a pattern and jam it in there and see if it works at all. So we got 10.5 right there. Well, by the time we draw the lines and cut outside of them, this part probably won't matter. That looks pretty good. Right to the edge there, right to the edge there. We'll get the maximum supportation, as they call it. You want to do like that, I think. So yeah, there's going to be a hole in the back of it there. I think that'll look interesting. Oh, that fits nice. And then we suck it up there, the crack disappears. Perfect. Let's try the clamp jacks again, shall we? This works really well for holding up shelves to get them ready to screw together. Kind of doing all three of these projects at the same time because they use the same tools for basically everything. Then we'll varnish everything. It would make sense to varnish this before I put it up here, except that I planed the top of this shelf and the top of this off, so we're going to have to varnish all this anyway. Oh, lovely. I think it's just because of that backward slant that it looks like it's tipped sideways. I promise it's pretty square and plumb and all that. Oh yeah, much stronger. I guess it's gonna go about there. This thing is just getting so ridiculously complicated, and I kind of like it. It's like the more rollers and pulleys you put in the system, the more drag there's going to be no matter what. So I think, you know, adding this to reduce a little drag there might be, you know, a 10% reduction in the whole thing. It actually might be a 30% reduction, but you're putting more friction where the roller is. But I just kind of like it. I like that it's really weird and really complicated looking. It kind of doesn't matter if it works. Oh, actually, there's no reason to put all those screws in. Just gonna tack it up here, get it all lined up, and then take it down and varnish it. How's that look? Really weird? Agreed. Holy cow, I can't see anything. Staring at that white table. Help! I'm blind! Once the sun goes behind the clouds, I can't see anything. Is that good? Is that on there? That ought to be real solid. I mean, you know, unless the ceiling comes down, which is possible, because again, you know, yeah, I built it. Oh no, I gotta take it back apart to grease that. Ooh. Holy cow. I didn't make that any too far from the top there, did I? Oh, they're like maybe a millimeter away. Oh, there we go. It was just the grease holding it. All right, let's see if we feel any difference here. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit better. Not a lot, like maybe 4 or 5 pounds. It looks really cool up there. You know, I just thought of this kind of changed the lengths of each of the ropes. So I bet I have to re-level and readjust each corner of the table, each rope going up. Which sucks because last time I did that it took me probably 3 hours to get them all just right. Well, I bet I can do it in an hour and a half. I don't want you guys to worry about me. It didn't take me 3 hours. I just remembered how I put this together and that there's a nut on the bottom of each one of these corners so you can just tighten it or loosen it a little bit. 5 minutes, perfect, dead on. And you know, things stretch and move around so I can just go back and tweak them later on. That's great. Man, this place is torn apart. Well, I guess we have to raise the coffee table up in order to put the couch back. Oh, you know what would be really cool? Is to use like an old drill or something, motorize this thing. You know, because at the end of a long day, you don't want to spend all these calories raising your coffee table or lowering it. Yeah, it is a little bit easier now. Excuse me. So what do we have left? Oh, the projector sled. Where is that thing? See how easy it is to move my coffee table out of the way? You should definitely have one of these. Just keep in mind it might rip your house down. This thing is great. I think I decided I'm not going to put the reference holes in the table yet. Just want to use this thing for a while and see where it fits the best before I drill holes in this thing. And I usually just use this with somebody else here. So in that case, you probably want it in the middle. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Here, you want to watch the movie? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. I routed some wider corners on here. I think it made it look less like a chunk. It's not too bad. I also thought of waiting to varnish that until I did the table so they'd look similar, they'd be done at the same time, but you know, sometimes you just can't wait for this stuff. I think part of the reason the shelf bent is it didn't have a support there, but also I keep my shooting bag on there. It's got like a couple thousand rounds of ammo in it. That was kind of a lot of weight to put there. The good thing about your home being less than 200 square feet is you can completely destroy it. Have tools everywhere, furniture moved around. You can put it all back and clean the entire place in 15 minutes. Well, that's all done. So what's next? I have a few ideas. One, I want to take the lean-to completely apart. It's about time to put new tarps on it. I think I'm just going to redo it like it is. I mean, a lot of you know that watch all the videos. When I first moved out here to the woods, that's the first thing Tito and I put together. And that's because we were camping, it was winter, we didn't have any place to put anything that was out of the snow. So we were going to string up a tarp over a string, and then I thought, well, let's put a little pole up there, and then we thought might as well do sides. It's, what, 3.5 years? That place is still there. It still holds a full snow load somehow. I mean, the poles are only like, yeah, maybe they're 3 inches across or so, but it's still good. However, I don't need that old crappy stove that's in there anymore. Tito and I were thinking about taking it and hauling it up onto the sky deck, putting some kind of like, maybe we'd have to raise up a real thin brick floor or something, or use big pavers and just raise them up so the heat could dissipate underneath. Put it up there, have a chimney going up, and you could just set all the way around it. You'd have to haul your firewood up. I think that'd be kind of fun, but I want to get that stove out of there and never use it anymore, especially now that I have the man cave, which is more sealed up. But it's still a pretty good dumping ground for big stuff. So I kind of like to pull everything out of it, rip the stove out, put some shelves and stuff in there. I don't know. Can't really do that until I do the same thing with the man cave. I'm actually thinking in the man cave about taking that bunk out of there. I text Tito and he said I'll use it for the bed in his cabin when it's done. So I might rip that out and do shelves in there, because that's even become a dumping ground. I mean, there's just crap all over the place. So anyway, that to that to that to that. The other thing I really want to do, I just thought of yesterday. I've been puzzling over what to do with this floor. I thought by now I would have a puppy up here. Hasn't happened. I've just been kind of too busy. What if I just painted this floor a weird color? And Sarah is the artist, so I text her and asked her about a few different colors. I was thinking about doing the floor something like this color, maybe a little bit darker, and then come back with like dark gray or slate or something and paint in all the cracks. And it might also look cool to then take really rough sandpaper or something to the entire floor and scuff the paint down, because if you just took off the top of it, I don't know, you'd see some of the wood sticking through. Maybe I'll do something like that and then put a coat or 2 or 3 of some kind of sealer on it. I'm kind of liking that idea. I think Tito's probably coming up day after tomorrow. Oh no, tomorrow. Maybe I'll have him pick me up some gallons of paint and do that. I don't really know how it would look, but, you know, who cares? It'd be kind of fun to do. So if you want, come back next week. We might paint a floor. We might rip a lean-to apart. All right, gotta go eat lunch and, you know, give it a little tink. See you next week.